recipe is one of the first recipes I ever did in my Instant Pot, and it's the one that made me a believer. I love my Instant Pots. They make cooking in my RV so much easier. In my opinion, an Instant Pot is a must-have anyway, but especially for RV cooking. First of all, it's faster. I get easy and consistent cooking, and it saves on propane. Most RV parks don't charge for electricity, so I might as well use the free electricity. If you have ever tried to make a deer, an elk, a moose roast, tender and juicy, it's nearly impossible. I haven't been able to ever get one juicy and tender until I got my Instant Pot. So there are 3 important things that you want to remember when you're cooking a wild roast in the Instant Pot. Number 1 is time. It's 90 minutes. Period. Don't go 60. It's not going to be enough to get that tenderness and to keep that juiciness. You need 90 minutes, high pressure. The second thing is you want to make sure that you have enough liquid. You don't want, and also not too much. You don't want to cover the whole roast, and you don't want to have it too low. You want the liquid almost to the top. And number 3, fat. You need a good fat, and I'm talking either lard or butter. You can sear with oil, but just adding oil isn't going to do what animal fat will do. So butter or lard. This recipe is just a Mississippi pot roast that you can do with any cut of meat. I am using a 3 to 4 pound elk roast. You can use venison, beef, whatever you like. You're going to need pepperoncinis, a stick of butter, a packet of ranch dressing mix, and sometimes I make my own, but I have this now, so I'm just going to use that. Some onion, and I'm adding some celery just because I had these tops, and I just figured I'd use them up. I'm going to start by just putting a little oil in the Instant Pot on saute because I like to sear all sides of the meat. I just feel like it adds a little more flavor. You don't have to do this. You can totally skip this step. I just like to do it because it's good. I salt and pepper both sides, and I also flour both sides. Once that oil is nice and hot, we're just going to put the meat in and let it go for probably 3 to 4 minutes on each side. It just depends. Just check it and, look at one side and see if it's starting to get brown. So like I said before, celery is not part of the Mississippi pot roast recipe, but I had these tops because I had cut up some celery for my daughter, and there's a ton of flavor in these, so I thought I'd just throw them in.
I'm gonna flip the meat now.
See what I mean? I hate doing it. Oh yeah. Turn it all the way over so yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, that's what we want right there. Yum, yum. Once all the sides are browned, I just remove it from the pot and set it aside, and then I go ahead and saute the onions and, well, in this case, celery, and just let that go until it gets soft. And then I deglaze it a little bit just to get all those brown bits off the bottom.
Oh, yum. The smell.
This is an important step because if you don't get all those brown bits off, it could cause a burn notice when you actually start cooking the roast. And then once the onions are soft, I just add the roast back in. And then I also like to add a little bit of beef bouillon just to give it a more beefy flavor, just about a tablespoon or so. And then I add the water, and I pretty much just pour it in until the top of the meat is just showing. You don't want it to cover it completely. And then I add a stick of butter and the packet of ranch. Mississippi pot roast usually also has a packet of brown gravy mix, but I don't care for that in my Mississippi pot roast, so I leave it out.
8 pepperoncini peppers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to add 1/4 cup of the liquid from the peppers. And how do you say it? Is it pepperoncini? Is it pepperoncini? What is the proper pronunciation? Somebody tell me in the comments below. I hate that when I do this, especially when I'm trying to film. Now we're cooking. Okay, we're gonna cook this on high pressure for 90 minutes. And over here in my baby Instant Pot, I have mashed potatoes going on. I cook these on high pressure for 5 minutes and do a quick release, and then all the liquid just gets sucked up into the potatoes. I don't have to drain it or anything. I add salt and pepper and a little bit of butter and some sour cream. I always use Daisy because it's just so good. A couple splashes of milk, and then I just blend it up with my hand mixer. They come out so creamy. They don't get all gummy and weird like you would think they do. They just come out perfect. When the roast is done, I do a natural release, probably for about 15-20 minutes, and then I release the rest of the pressure. And it just comes out so tender. I mean, I can just pinch it with the tongs and it falls apart. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it the first time I did this. I take the meat out of the Instant Pot and just transfer it to a sheet pan, and I just kind of shred it up, or sometimes I'll slice it. And then I make a gravy in a separate pan on the stove out of the juice that's in the Instant Pot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this recipe. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you have any questions about the recipe or just cooking wild game in general, let me know. Leave me a comment. I read all your comments and I'll be glad to help you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and you will be notified every time I upload a new video. And here are 2 more RV cooking videos that you might like. We'll see you next time.